Hello, everybody, and welcome to Red Valkyrie Presents. I'm, of course, Shae the Red, and this is, look, I'm just going to say this. I'm really impressed with what I was able to do, considering the content that I had to work with, because it was what I've done, or a fucking silicone mask of a German Shepherd, or...
That was my vote, by the way.
Yeah, so I was like, just wear the mask, and I was like, that would be it. I would just be wearing a store-bought mask. That's not a cosplay. That's just putting on a mask and pretending that I did something.
And because the name of it is Cerberus, I'm like, just wear 3 of them.
Yeah, just.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, make it like Cerberus with all the heads.
Weird one here or something.
It'll be great, yeah. And then, or I could have copped out and done the other book that you have featured on the campaign that does have a hot chick, but I was like, no, I'm going to challenge myself. I'm going to make this difficult. And then when that doesn't work, I have the hot chick to fall back on and pretend that that's what I was doing the whole time.
Yep.
Classic. Good plan.
Yeah, see, look, I always have like plan A through like F every time I have to do these now, because...
So now, if you didn't do Lee, the main German Shepherd dog detective of the story, I'm wondering who you did.
I'm so excited to show you. Before we get there, Sai, how are you doing?
I'm doing awesome, and I have to say, not only am I impressed with the cosplay, I'm more impressed with the fact that you hit the right video at the beginning of the stream.
Me too.
Unlike what you did 2 streams ago.
Yeah, where I ended the stream with our intro.
Yeah, you ended with our intro. Yeah.
And it was like the best part, Narwhal, that was our 600th live stream, and my ass was like, yeah, we've been doing this, like, we're old hats at it. And then I fucking hit the intro, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Like,
And
it's
so
like
then I have
I'm
to
brand
stop
new.
it and call her a jackass and start the right one.
It's terrible. Look, I'm not good at this, right?
I just yourself up. That's like rule number 1 is you gotta avoid any possibility of irony, because that's
Yeah. No, I just lean into it. I'm like, look, my nickname from a lot of my friends was Murphy, and it was for Murphy's Law.
Oh yeah.
Because I literally am the person that they're like, this never happens. Nobody ever has this happen, and then it'll happen to Shae. And everyone's like, how does this keep happening to you? I'm like, I don't know. So my nickname was Murphy.
Yeah, that fits. That's good.
All right, are we ready to do? Well, no, wait. We haven't actually technically welcomed Narwhal. How are you, Narwhal?
Oh yeah, because we were talking behind the scenes. It's like we've been chatting.
Yeah, we're already into this conversation.
Yeah, but I'm good. I'm working. I'm about to fulfill Cerberus pretty soon. It's only going to be open another week or so.
Oh,
so it's
geez.
nice to come on, and you guys will be one of the last promo streams I do. So I appreciate coming on.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, did I back this? I gotta check.
Dude, it's hard to remember because for me too, I don't know, it all blurs together and I have to check the list to see or whatever.
Yeah, I literally never know anymore, like, if I backed things. I'm like, I just assume I back everything, and then somebody's like, oh, I know that you couldn't get to this, but I was just wondering if maybe for book 2 we could come on your show. And I was like, did I not get book 1? And they were like, no, it's okay though. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I meant to.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I'm working on Earthbound. That's kind of the main thing I'm drawing right now. The sequel.
Ooh, nice.
Earthbound Grand Prix.
Oh, I did back. Okay, we're good. I thought I did because it looks cute and adorable, and I love the fact that it's animal PI noir-esque story. This makes me so happy. But okay, before we get into the book, we have to do this cosplay reveal. What?
You want to hear something funny? So we just had our 600th live stream. Do you know how many Red Valkyrie Presents we've done? What episode number this is?
I don't.
365.
Oh, cool.
This is a year's worth of Red Valkyrie Presents, everyone.
If we had this show every day, this would be a year's worth. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm into that kind of stuff, numerology.
Yeah. That's why I mentioned it. I'm like, we got to be past 350.
Dude, that's hilarious. And of all people to like round out our year, I guess, because it's 365. Like, I'm so happy it's Narwhal, because Narwhal was one of the first.
Narwhal, yeah.
Narwhal was with us.
We're bringing in the new year. That's what we're doing here.
Hell yeah! I mean, who gives a shit if it's, halfway through May? It's the new year for us right now.
Shots.
Oh, I
the
can't
new
drink with
year.
this.
No, you can't. All right, here we go.
Metamorphosis completed, sir.
Shae the Red.
Has now become
Furry.
Awesome.
Oh!
Wow, that's so awesome! I can't believe it.
I
Here,
love the ears. The ears turned out so much better than I thought they would.
This is so
my
great.
God.
Can I screen capture the stream? And
You can, but I also have shots for you. Like I have pictures that I'm sending you.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely send me some because this is so awesome. Thank you. I love that you do this. It's always so fun.
Well, and look, I changed my facial profile for you. Like,
Yeah, you're straight up like a Who from Whoville.
no joke, Nar. That's exactly what this nose is.
Oh yeah.
It's a Whoville nose, and I was like, I mean that works.
Yeah.
It's bat-like. It's close enough.
You want to
Yeah.
tell them the gross shit that's going on inside that nose?
No, I don't. So when they first they sent it, there weren't breathing holes. So
Oh.
I first had it on, and all it did was basically create like suction, and I couldn't breathe, even though I was breathing through my mouth. Like I couldn't actively breathe well. So then I had to peel it back off, which is super fun and not painful at all. And put little breathing holes in it, and then put it back in. And now it's like my sinuses are trying to drain because it was so like suctioned from before. And I'm like, I can't do anything about it. It's just in this prosthetic.
when
I'm
you
like, it's so
eventually take it off,
disgusting.
it's gonna be like a dam removal.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be horrible. It's gonna be the most disgusting thing I've ever taken off.
She
But whatever,
needs to
it'll be
cut
fine.
the
See, that's
tip
that's
off
what
of
you guys,
it before she takes it off and just drain it.
Oh,
before.
gross.
Yeah, that's what you got to stream with that horror lighting. And,
Right? Yeah, as I'm taking it all off.
Yeah.
So for anyone who doesn't know, I'm not just a furry part-time. This is all for Narwhal's book Cerberus, and this looks so fucking cool. And I was debating between the bat or doing the little mouse with the glow nose.
Yeah.
I had
nice.
this right, and you didn't use the right fucking layout.
Oh, get over it.
God, why do I make things break?
I don't know. But yeah, I was debating doing this cute little mouse guy because the little glow nose was so adorable, but then I was like, I would have to do that and I'd have to do the teeth, and I couldn't get both of them in time. So I was like, well, I'm going to just do the bat. It'll be fine.
Yeah, that's perfect. The bat's name is Mateo, and the rat's name is Pete.
Nice. Look at how cute Mateo is. Look at that. Look at Mateo.
Yeah, he gets to do some badass shit too, but he's like almost like the secret hero of the whole book, but it's in part 2 where he kind of comes out unsung bench player comes out and brings it home or whatever.
That's awesome. And I love that you gave like Mateo this little coif hair right up here, and I was like, it's so like such a stylish little bat.
Yeah, I know. So the artist is Monica McCagney.
Oh, I love Monica. She's amazing.
Yeah, she's so good, and so she works with Vaughn a lot, and that's how I kind of met her through Vaughn. And then, so she was just designing these characters, and what she did with Mateo was so beautiful.
Stevie J says, in an age of AI filters, people still dress up for real. I do. Yep. I pride myself on not copping out and taking easy routes.
Yeah,
I put myself through it.
Special. Yeah, because a lot of people could just do that.
I mean, look at that hair.
Do a VTuber. It's, you know what? It has its own aesthetic to it that's very pleasing because you know it's real. It's like,
yeah. And the thing that's really funny, do you know how many times I've gone to my UPS store in either partial or full cosplay because like I'll get packages and they close it's like right as we start streaming. So I'll get in cosplay and then I'll be like, oh, I have 45 minutes. Let me go grab my packages real quick. And I'll run out and they're like, what the fuck, Shae? I'm like, oh, I'm streaming in like 20 minutes. And they're like, okay. They just like give me my stuff. Like, bye. See you later. I'm like, okay, bye guys. Like running away. Oh yeah, that's the other thing.
Harry
The
and
nose
Stevie
moves
J.
as I breathe.
What's up?
Anyway,
Show us. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's like a movie. It's so cinematic.
Yes. Yep. I'm really committed.
If she inhales really hard, it completely sculpts to her nose.
Yeah. Yes, I was
Ridiculous.
streaming with Lit Devil this morning, or Literature
Uh-huh.
Devil, and it randomly came up The Great Mouse Detective, just a random anthropomorphic detective animal story. And I was like, oh, I kind of remember loving that movie. And
Yeah.
and I want to rewatch it because it's been so long. And I think it's Disney because some of the old ones, they all mix together. And I'm like, is it Don Bluth? Is it Steven Spielberg's company Amblin? Or is it like Disney? And I think that one's Disney. And I just remember memory too. I think that movie has a ridiculous off-screen like torturous murder in it that the bad guy does to like one of his assistants who fails him or something.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So like the kids' movies used to be dark, and I kind of like that. And that's
Yeah.
about this story. This story is like, it's Amanda who writes for the Splintering. She said well, not exactly for kids. It is for the young at heart. And I'm like, yeah, like you could say that, or you could say like it's like an '80s children's story where it's like almost PG-13. Like this would give
Yeah.
kids nightmares, but kids could read it and they should maybe. But it's like it's a little bit more like for adults even.
This is how you get the trauma from your childhood that you then recover from in your adult years is through these kinds of stories as a kid.
Yeah, I'm trying to get into the business of childhood trauma.
Oh, that was the other thing I was going to tell you, Narwhal. This is what was so funny. After I painted the nose, I didn't have the ears on yet. I straight up looked like I was out of a Goofy movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it 100% reads Goofy movie if you don't have the ears. And I was like, huh, that's interesting. I didn't realize that.
Then you're like, I got to go see Prince in concert.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I now need to take a trek with my mom and have it be just horrible and go terribly awry, and then end up at a Prince concert.
You know something? That would be a hilarious indie movie. I'll almost like legit want to write this. It'd be two furries, a woman and her mom, and they're going to a concert or something.
Look at Vaughn shows up. I fucking love Vaughn. Hi, Vaughn. I know. This is what you don't understand. Okay, Cave Slave. That was my like backup plan if this fell apart. That was like this is how I'm gonna say that I did this the whole time and that's all that I meant. But it's not challenging because it's just a blonde girl in like a she's hot.
Yeah, it's just not the same as a giant bat named Matilda.
Yeah, and Sai is correct. I do live to subvert expectations every time. Do you know how many times people will send me stuff and they'll be like, don't worry, I have a hot redhead in it so you can just play her. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then I'll start going through and I was like, ooh, but this one that has like 50 tentacles coming out of her back and like these fucked up eyes, that's kind of my jam. I'm going to do that one. And then they're like, you didn't do the redhead? And I was like, no, I did the one that cost me $200 in supplies to get everything for. Yeah. Instead of the one that I like could have gone into my closet and like, yep, I'm good. I have the entire cosplay.
Yeah.
Hey Vaughn, if once this is done, go back and watch our hangout
regen last night.
Yeah,
there was skin.
Shae was in a push-up bra for most of it, and that was all from the waist.
No, there was a kimono.
A little.
There was a kimono.
Hey, do you do in-person convention appearances ever?
That's a good question and pretty apt. Go ahead, Shae.
It's hilarious that you asked that because I'm actually doing my first in-person convention in cosplay next week. I'm going to Tidewater Comic Con with Bill and Cat Mouse, and I'm dressing up as Nera X from the Dark Seas, their latest book. Oh, so cool. I'm gonna be at Kat's table with her, tabling and all that. Yep, sweet. And that's the cosplay I'm gonna be in.
Whoa, that comic looks cool too. You know something about the indie? It's so sprawling now that like I had never even seen or heard of that comic before.
Yeah,
I want to look it up now.
Yeah, you absolutely should. I can send you the link after we're done because
Bill and Cat Mouse are both great. They are on our art auctions all the time. Yeah,
nice.
Bill's been around forever and Cat does some really interesting stuff.
Well, and Kat's been doing Kat's been working on Bill's stuff since she was like 14 or something like that. And so, like, she's been, coloring her dad's stuff or inking over her dad's stuff for
Thank you for
years.
mentioning dad, because mentioning 14 and then both having the same last name, thank you for clearing the ambiguity.
I'm making sure everybody understands that they are father-daughter duo. But yeah, and then we're gonna stream. So while I'm at Tidewater with them, we're gonna stream from there for a Red Valkyrie Presents. So next weekend is gonna be really fucking insane while we try to stream live and Sai's trying to hold it down in studio, quote unquote.
Where is Tidewater? Is that
Virginia Beach?
Okay, cool. Nice.
Yeah, so it's like right near where they are. It's right near where I am. So we're just gonna meet up there and have some fun. It's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be really, really cool. Anyway,
I want to go to some conventions sooner or later.
Yeah, that's something that we really want to do too. As Red Valkyrie, like we really want to hit up the convention circuit and try and get some tables and do some live streaming from conventions and stuff like that. It would be really fun. Well, it's not in the cards this year, but maybe next year we'll be able to swing it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, back to why we're here. Cerberus, tell us a little bit about this, because this is not only does it look adorable, and I think that Monica was the absolute perfect choice, like, to be your artist in this, because she's just so talented and she gives these animals so much personality and so much character. And I've seen so many people try to do this and just fail miserably because they're like, but it's an animal and it has to look like this. And she's like, oh no, I'm gonna, like, she straight up could have done a Goofy movie like all on her own in her style, and it would have been amazing.
Yeah, I think she's one of the best artists in the world. And I'm like, how famous is she? Is she like famous, super famous yet? I'm like, she's getting more and more famous. I feel like she is like, in Comicsgate, everyone knows her name, and Comicsgate is a huge indie movement, so she's getting there.
I really want to do an interview with her, but she is not down for the live streams, last I checked.
Yeah, I don't know how good her English is. That's what I think she told me, that she's good at typing it, but speaking it, maybe not. But yeah, and it was like, there were some false starts. I wrote this like 5-6 years ago, and it was sitting as a script, and I early kind of in Comicsgate, I was like, ooh, I can get another book going where I'll be drawing Earthbound, but then on the side someone else will be drawing like something I've written, and I'm like, it can be Cerberus. And so I was kind of trying to get that going, but it didn't really come to fruition until after Earthbound 2. For me, that was kind of my big smash hit. And I was like, I have a budget now, so then it's a lot easier to try and convince people to work with you when you pay them fairly.
Yeah.
And so then that it became more of an issue of like just like getting the business side of it moving smooth, and found connected with Monica, and it was perfect. And many thanks to Vaughn for the hookup too, because Vaughn gave me her email, and he's connected. He read an early version of the script. He hooked me up with Monica. He wrote Cave Slave, which is on the campaign. So he and I were like very early CG coming up together, kind of. We're two of the people who...
To the OGs.
Yeah, like who weren't mainstream, so we're just indie. And then through indie, we've like been pretty successful, kind of.
Absolutely. Oh, another reason I didn't do Cave Slave, I don't have this waistline. Like, she's... That's goals right there. That when I get that waistline, then I'll do a really good Cave Slave cosplay. But until that happens, it's...
Yeah, that's like my Barbie doll waistline.
We're waiting for like the invisible corset to be invented. And,
oh my gosh. Can somebody make that a thing, please? Because holy fuck.
Yeah.
You would make millions.
Yeah, and maybe something to smooth over the wrinkles that would create when you cinch all that up.
Totally fine.
Here's what it can be. Nano machines in your skin.
They just pull tight. Yes.
Like so
totally not creepy.
Yeah, millions of tiny little drones that go.
How about we get the millions of tiny little drones in your body to just eat the fat, and then
and then that's just your life. That would be great.
Yeah.
They eat the fat
maybe
and
we do-
simultaneously like stimulate the muscles, and so you have rock hard abs that are actually rock hard abs.
Maybe we just eat healthy and do some exercise.
That's
We try
hard
that.
though. That takes a lot of work. I would
I
rather.
know. Better to invent nanotechnology. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, just have like some crazy billionaire create
Yeah,
nanotechnology that would make that a thing.
I'm gonna tweet at Elon. It'll be fine.
I don't know who's gonna test that though. The first like 10 people that'll test it will
I'll
just
volunteer.
spontaneously combust.
No, I'll volunteer. If it turns me into a cyborg, I'm fine with that. Bonus.
So did you draw Cave Slave?
Donald DeLay drew it with me drawing a little bit of it, which is actually, it's a little bit weird how it all came together, but it's kind of like collage-y. Like I drew Cave Slave most, and Donald drew most everything else, and then like I drew just the girl kind of, and then because I kind of didn't like his girl wasn't hot enough, and then he's like, well, you know, it's not really my thing to draw super hot girls. That's more your thing. And I was like, maybe we can just team up. And so
well, and that's the thing that's really funny is because this right here, this is like the most Narwhal profile I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Because that's just 100% your style. But then over here, I was like, this feels overly detailed for what Narwhal normally does. And it's like, oh no, Donald did that. And you're like, oh no, that makes perfect sense now. And it's like, it's not that it doesn't go together. It's just that you're like, okay, this is a whole lot of detail. Like these all even have like a lot more lines than what I would expect from Narwhal. But then this is unequivocally Narwhal right here.
Yeah. So it's funny. The coloring kind of ties it together, but you can tell, like you can spot it. And I'm okay with that. Like it's kind of fun a little bit. So.
Well, you know what it does, because you did it you were the one that drew Cave Slave and then Donald drew the rest of the characters. What that ends up doing is Cave Slave has such a unique presence from panel to panel that she stands out, and she's supposed to. So it's like it's an interesting way to make your character stand out from the scene, because it's not, you guys aren't like drastically different styles. You're different enough that you can tell, especially if you've been like, I've known you and Donald for years. So I know your styles. And so seeing them side by side, I can go, okay, well, this one clearly is Donald. This one clearly is Narwhal. But it's cool, like in this scene right here where you see Donald's characters in the background and her up front, and you're like, well, she stands out, but she's supposed to stand out, so it's perfect, you know?
Yeah. I've called it in the past because it was put together, originally conceived just as a short story to be included in the compendium. And it ended up being most people's favorite story in the compendium, kind of the standout piece. And that's kind of why it's getting its own thing here. And then there's a kind of a separate story with it too, because then Nicholas Hunter did the cover, what you were talking about, the waistline. That had a huge response online. That kind of got it a lot more attention even. So then me and Vaughn were like, hey, this is a little bit lightning in a bottle, so maybe we'll try and do a sequel or whatever. So we're talking about that, and we're going to make that happen sooner or later. But originally, it's just a short story, and it's kind of like it was just this beautiful shit show is what it ended up being. It's like scrambling, getting everything. I ended up coloring everything in the end, but I was like working with a few different colorists, and some things were working, some things weren't. I ended up doing like a little rewrite on the action scene at the end where I basically added explosives. I did that to 2 of the short stories in the compendium. I was like, you know what would make these better? Explosives.
If something blew up.
Yeah. I was like, I wonder if that will work for this one too. And I started adding explosives to everything.
Narwhal's like, I just want to watch the world burn, and since it's my world, I can make it burn, so I'm going to, because that sounds like
You know
like
what
fun.
we need to do? This makes money. Let's just Michael Bay it. And,
Exactly, just Michael Bay everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
More explosions. Put a hot chick in. Can we squeeze a transformer in? No. Okay, maybe next time.
Yeah.
By the way, this image of her, and like it's the same image that I stole in my misdirection, and the bumper. This image would be amazing on a t-shirt, and I know that nobody's surprised that I'm saying this because I say this every time, but this, like, isolating her out and then having just like that on the back and Cave Slave on the front or something would be absolutely amazing.
Maybe finish
Oh,
out
yeah.
the legs.
Yeah. I gotta get cracking on some of this stuff. I don't have an online store yet. Even I do everything just through Indiegogo once in a while, and it's like it just feels like a lot of work because I'm trying to do wear too many hats at once, so you get drained.
Well, if you decide you want help with merch design, Shae has a little bit of a problem because all I do is merch. So feel free to hit me up and we can talk and I can help out because I love creating stuff that I want to wear.
Yeah.
And so when I see people that have like really, really cool artwork and I'm like, oh, if you took that and then you put it like this and people are like, oh, I didn't think of that. I'm like, yeah, look at how cool it is. And then I could buy it and I could wear it.
Yeah. Well, for this one, I'll just even say we can chat because for sure I just would like, sign off to let you be in charge of it if you wanted to.
Yes!
Yeah.
We're going to make it happen. It's going to be amazing, Nar.
Yeah.
We have awesome stuff. Okay, I love this. So Cave Slave is 24 pages. How many pages is Cerberus?
It's 92 and it's just part one. The full story this is a trend that I have in my stories. A lot of times they're at least 200 pages because pretty much all of them, they start as a movie script and then they get turned into a comic. That's just kind of the way my brain works. I see it as a movie first, so I just write it as a script. Then I thumbnail it, turn it, and each process has some kind of fun, creative aspects to it, and it goes all the way to the lettering at the end. I'm still like changing dialogue and changing moments and stuff. And this one is even a little bit kind of fun process because I'm converting the movie script. Normally, I would just kind of thumbnail it and start, but I'm actually converting it to a comic script for Monica. So that for the first time, I'm like writing camera angles because I never do that when I'm working for myself. I just know them, so I'll kind of skip that part.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of been fun doing that too. But 200 pages. So by the time this is done, it'll be like 200 pages.
That is so cool. Yeah, I fucking love this. Like it was one of those, you announced this and then I saw it was live and it was like an insta back because reading about it and just even reading your little blurb, the when Lee Button's human master is murdered, he begins an investigation to find the killer. His only lead, it was another dog that did it. And I'm like,
It was Cujo.
okay. Like, clearly I now need this book in my life because one dog is playing PI detective like John Wick to find the other dog that killed his master. Like that is the most ridiculous and yet so fucking awesome sounding premise that I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And so I have to.
Thanks. Alex VRB is like a big mod throughout many channels and commentate. He was tweeting out the link and he goes, "Loyalty after death," and he pointed the link and I was like, "Alex, that's a sweet tagline." He's like, "You can use it if you want." I'm like, I'm gonna put it on the back of the book. And he's like,
You're like, good. I'm stealing it.
That's not even on the page, but I've been saying that. Loyalty after death.
It's so good. It's so good. This looks like so much fucking fun. So you said that this is fulfilling like soon.
Yeah, like within a month even. It's getting kind of the final edit pass from the editor. I work with Blake Worrell from the Splintering, helps me with editing. And so I get any notes back from him, change them. This is the first book I worked with Eric Weathers too for lettering, which is also kind of a fun process. So then I just send it off to Eric, get the final notes all taken care of. Then I order prints, and then we're doing it.
That's so awesome. So is this? It's
Oh, one other thing real quick is Monica has started production on part 2, which is exciting. Because that was like a little delay and not like that. I kind of planned for that anyway, but I was just wondering when it would start. And she had a few other jobs she had to kind of get close to being done first or whatever.
right.
But that happened recently, so she's kind of started on part 2. So it's progressing, which is very nice, very fun. This one, the goal too, it's 30 grand, which is about the break-even point, but it's already past that, and that's the point where I get my investment back. So that means I can just reinvest it. So like we're rolling, And by the time part 1 and 2 come out, I think it will be making a decent profit for me.
Oh, definitely. I think that there's been an influx of people. I mean, granted, with the economy kind of being how it is and people not having the money that they had a couple years ago, people are a lot more conservative with their backings. But there's also been an influx of people who like want proof that you're going to deliver. And granted, anyone who knows you knows that you deliver because you've delivered every project you've had and you've done it timely, and you have a great reputation, just like Vaughn does. But anytime somebody launches a new IP, you still have a bunch of people that are hesitant. They're like, okay, well, I want other people to read it and then tell me that it's good, and then I'll go and get it. And so I think by book 2, you're going to have a lot of people that are like, okay, but I want book 1 and 2. Like, now I want both of them. And so that's just going to be a continued return on that investment.
Yeah. I definitely think something like that is going to happen. I'm definitely excited and pumped to keep going and getting this one out there.
Hell yeah. So is this like perfect bound? Because it's 92 pages. I feel like that's...
Yeah, this will be like a trade kind of thing.
Awesome. Okay. All right, let's go over your tiers for a bit. I believe this is rather straightforward, but I want to make sure that people know how to back you.
Yeah. So it's only the 2 main big products, and there's a third. So the main one is the Cave Slave floppy and the Cerberus graphic novel. You can get those together for $40. The digital, for the first time I'm offering digital, and I'm always curious if there's going to be like 0 backers or 100. There's 20. So it's like an interesting data point that it is valuable to, especially people who might want to save on international shipping. They can just get digital copy. And then there's just the book itself, $25. And then this is one of the kind of special ones I added halfway through the campaign, but it's the hardcover of only 24-page book. So it's going to be kind of a weird thing to hold, but I've noticed I kind of like that sometimes. So it's a limited edition kind of thing. And right now there's only 27 copies, so I might just order 50. So there'll only be 50 in the world kind of. And they're
going to say... They're kind of cool because even though they're small, like it's nice to have a hard copy because it's being as small as it is, it helps still protect it really well. And considering that you're offering it with like the virgin cover of your work and everything, that really makes it more of a collector's item, I think. So I think that's really cool.
So that's what this one is, kind of just the opportunity, because I've realized this is sort of a thing with campaigns, is that you have people that they want to support you potentially for like hundreds of dollars. Some backers are like a little more wealthy and they want to, but if you don't even have enough things for them to buy, they'll just back your book and so they support you like $40 or whatever.
Yeah.
Awesome. But there are people that will buy more if you offer more. So this is kind of a little bit of that for like collectors, Narwhal completionists, people who can't afford it, who feel like supporting more is just one extra thing they can get to help the campaign a little more, is the idea.
Yeah. Look at Cye. Cy's terrible with the comments. Oh, pop in there it is. With a 24-page hardcover, it's thin and light, so you can use it to whack people on the head.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, that is accurate.
Without like injuring them. Like, hey, you're a dumbass, but I don't want to brain you. Yeah.
Without it being assault.
Yeah.
Get one for whacking and one for reading.
Without me having to sleep on the couch. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you think.
Yeah.
The bag kicked me out of bed.
Yeah. And so for this one, I wanted to offer the script too, and I had a little scheme with it. It's just like maybe sort of subconsciously branding that it was originally conceived as a movie and could one day again be a movie. So I'm keeping that in the universe, like that. Like, what do they call it if you're manifesting or whatever?
Yeah, manifest destiny.
I'm like, this could one day be a movie, maybe. So I'm keeping that
speaking it into existence.
Yeah. I'm keeping that like as a thing that I'm talking about here and there or whatever. So that's for people also who want to know the ending, the whole story, because the whole story is awesome and the beginning's cool too. Like it is, and it feels kind of complete as a part one, but part two, I'm really looking forward to them like together, and the script together is one way to experience the story.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, so then you have some stretch goals.
Yeah, we've reached one of them is to include one of the short stories from, it's not the compendium, but the B-sides, which the B-sides might not get reprinted for a while. So those are kind of extra limited edition. And then the stories in those, like a lot of them were like the JV of the short stories. So that's why they're kind of called the B-sides. But the compendium was all my best stuff. And it's a really curated, cool collection. And the B-sides are like experimental and weird and kind of cool still. But there was one story in the B-sides that like kind of stood out, like it could have been in the compendium. And I think it's just called Drunk Monk, but it's like a drunk monkey kung fu comic. And that one is awesome. So I'm including that. It is already, we've reached that. So that's going to be included with the book. That's like, I think it's 9 pages. It might be 10 page short story. And then we're close to maybe getting some cool original pages, preview of part 2 included, and then the last one would be like some making up, which we probably won't reach that one, but I think we might hit the second one, maybe 36 though. It's almost 33 thou right now or something. So.
Yeah, and I really love the making of stories because being able to see people's process has really like kind of helped me like as an artist appreciate what other people do, but it's also like helped me kind of grow and learn because I don't have the dexterity, like the hand-eye coordination, because I haven't practiced as much, but I consume so much of like tutorials and how-tos and like watching process videos of people painting and things like that. So like the information's in there.
Yeah.
I now have to work on like the actual like physical aspect of it, but it means that I love seeing all of the like making of, because the stuff that you do, and I'm not gonna lie, when I very very first saw your stuff, Narwhal, I was like, bro, I don't think this is for me, because it's such a different style and it's such a different look. But then the more I kind of saw your process and how the stories go and how things are laid out, I was like, no, this is actually really effective. Like it's become such an endearing thing to me because I've gotten to see how your brain pieces it together, and then how you're able to like inject so much emotion and so much like feeling and create a world that feels like really real with such a simple take on the style and the art side of it. And it's, to me, you're a storyteller and an artist in like the way that you craft storytelling, like first and foremost. And so that's kind of how to consume Narwhal, like understand that Narwhal is all about telling a really gripping story.
Yeah, thanks. And I've thought before too, even like I didn't plan it this way, but if your art grows on people, they even appreciate that. Like I know in my own life, if that feeling, it's a little different than something you loved right away versus something that grew on you. It has a special place in your heart, the stuff that grows on you.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can look at something and be like, wow, that's amazing, but it becomes like a flash in the pan. Yeah. Or you have stuff where you're like when I get to share, like if I share your stories with other people, there's a lot of people that are like, really? Like you like this? And you're like, okay, I understand, but I'm telling you, the more you get into it and the more you look at these panels and the way that things are laid out, the more you're going to realize that while this may not be a good art style for DC, for Marvel, for some of these like ridiculous stories, when it comes to this story that he's telling, this is the most effective art style, and anything more than this would actually take away from that experience. And so it's like, I get that it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's something that I think everyone should at least give the time and space to experience at least once.
Yeah, thanks. I've noticed too, like, people will talk about it and have opinions, and I'm like, I think that helps me actually, like having something that, whether or not, like, if people like it or dislike it, they're actually talking about it. That's kind of cool.
Right. Well, and that's the thing, is like art is always and will always be subjective. what one person does is not what somebody else likes. That's the beauty of art. But if you are able to spark a conversation, that's a talented artist.
Yeah.
Even if it's through controversy. It's still a talented artist.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got this. This is about to fulfill. What else are you working on? Because you always have like 5 or 6 projects going on in the back of your head, it seems.
Yeah, there is a lot actually, and it is like building the train tracks while you're on the train, so there's always new stuff. But there's potentially some more Narzak stuff down the line. And it's still been kind of fun working with your boy Zach and keeping that relationship. One thing that's kind of come from it is I think I'm his guy that if he has an idea that is almost like too ridiculous that he would normally just like throw it away, but something he kind of likes my comics or whatever makes him comfortable pitching me those ideas. So
he's like, this isn't for EVS, but let me get Narnar up here and be like, yo, dude, all right, so I got this crazy idea. It doesn't make any sense. This is what I want to do. And you're like, fuck yes. And he goes, okay, cool.
Yeah. I'll get these late night emails from him, and they're worded almost very close to what you just said. He'll say, like, this is crazy, and I don't even know if I like it, but and I'm like, what if this? And he's like, yeah. So we're still doing that, and it's pretty fun. And yeah, because he's got his huge campaigns too, like Rambo or whatever is like over almost 4,000 backers or something. It's like old days kind of with that one, which is cool. But yeah, I have a big project which is a collaboration with this guy named Jared Jewell, who he's not technically CG yet, but he's definitely like high comics gate. He's kind of just shy-ish or whatever. He just hasn't been up much on the live streams, but I want to introduce people to him. I've been his buddy for like 10 years or more. I met him in Iowa City when I lived there for 2 years. I went to campus to like anime club and video game club on campus to like make friends was like one of my strategies back then.
Nice.
And so he and I kind of became friends through that because he was hosting comics jams that I would go to. And he was going to school for animation. He's also a musician, so he's kind of like a jack of all trades. And he's become one of my main colorists. He colored Cerberus, so like this page we're looking at here, he colored that. So he's a great colorist. Nice. And he's very good at like workflow and plugging in. And it was fun even with the coloring of Cerberus. We kind of designed it like animation. Like we're picking our workflow, and that's going to create the style almost. Like because it has to be something that we can both plug in and do. Because I did like 30 of the pages, and he did 60 or whatever. And so, but we co-wrote a script, and it's part 1 is the art's almost all done, but that'll come out in like the fall. But that one, it's like an Italian horror comic style, but it's a witch in a hotel at midnight. She casts a spell to sacrifice the entire hotel to a demon in the basement, and it's going to let her live for another 1,000 years. And it follows like 6 of the people in the hotel when that spell gets cast. And it's called Hotel Story, which is kind of a cool title. So that
I like that.
Yeah, so that one's going to be sweet, and that one's cool too because that's another one that'll be over 200 pages. It might be by the end, it might be 300 pages, and it all takes place in one night. So it's a very like condensed, fun.
Oh, I fucking love I love like one-shot stories like that where you're, in a hotel room or you're in like a gosh, what I do this every time, Cy. What is the play that takes place in one setting?
12 Angry Men, or no?
No.
Are you talking about the Jude Law Michael Caine one?
Yes.
I
do this literally every fucking time, and then I have to IMDb it because I can never remember. Sleuth. Thank you. Yes, Sleuth. Okay. Have you seen Sleuth?
I've never seen that. No, I want to see it. I love
Narwhal.
That kind of stuff where it's like almost a little more like a play or whatever. But
okay? So
yeah, it's literally a 2-man play.
Sleuth is a 2-man play. There's literally that's it. But based on your storytelling, you would love Sleuth. Like I promise. And Michael Caine and Jude Law are in the movie adaptation of it are absolutely phenomenal. It is one of the best movies that I have ever seen. I always rave about it, and I am shocked you have never seen it. I'm giving you homework. The next time I talk to you, you need to have seen Sleuth.
Yeah. We got a little list. Send me the link to that comic that you're cosplaying for, and send me just Sleuth. Just type Sleuth so I remember.
Yes, and I will send you all of the screenshots.
But my notebook is in my room. I think.
That's always how it goes.
My room used to be my office, so I just reached to my bed and grabbed it.
Can't do that anymore. Now you have to plan.
Yeah, these are.
You got to have multiple notebooks.
I know. Yeah, I just need one right here.
Oh my gosh. Sai, do you have any other questions? Or, I mean, look, we have Narwhal here. Do you have anything that you just want to ask Narwhal because we have him as a captive hostage?
Have you upgraded from the holy underwear of Antioch?
Oh wait, is that Mormon or something? Or
No, I'm talking about the boxer briefs that you used to wear back
when you
in
would
that old
stream in your
apartment.
underwear before passing out.
With holes in your pants and holes in your underwear, and you'd stick your fingers through them.
That's like that. Oh my god, that's like early Narwhal. I forgot.
Yeah.
That's why I was laughing.
I used to drink and stream. I quit drinking a couple years ago, but I am like, shit, I got boring. I'm like, dang, it's worth it to be healthy and a little more productive. It's worth it.
You used to be a drunk meat slicer, and you were so interesting.
Yeah, but I think I might have thrown those undies away. I have one pair of undies that's kind of torn, but I don't wear them very often.
I feel like you should throw those away as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
I feel like, new house, new
underwear.
Yeah, that's my saying. I live my life by that code.
Look at Mike in the chat. Narwhal pioneered the butt cam.
Yeah. For a while, I had all the the exclusives of the butt cam. So Mandy Summers, I think I still have the exclusive. She's never done the butt cam on anyone but my channel. So I'm like, I literally own Mandy's ass.
Oh my gosh.
Pimp.
I can't even comment on that.
I have a comment. I'm holding it so close right now.
Holy shit. Well, dude, Narwhal, we love having you on. I cannot wait. You have to make sure you keep us posted because, we're booking out 2+ months in advance. So let us know when you have all of these other projects and campaigns that are coming up because we do not want to miss out on any of this. I want to make sure we get you in for all of them because they all seem amazing.
Yeah, there'll be one in late July or August. So yeah, I mean, even I'll hit you up in June or something to try and book that maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got we have people that we have on frequently. Like Mark Polton is on all the time. I have him booked out for the rest of the year for the campaign. He's like, I should be launching this campaign around here and this one around there, and so I have him tentatively booked out throughout the rest of 2023.
Nice.
So feel free if you have ideas of when you might be live, we'll just pepper you in there and move it as need be. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. This was so much fun. And thank you to everybody who's been hanging out in the chat. Thank you to everyone who's watching on replay. This hopefully was definitely worth it. I don't see how it couldn't be. And go back Cerberus. Seriously, This is such a cool concept. It looks like such a fun book. You have McCagney who's doing the art. She's phenomenal. And it's Narwhal's amazing storytelling. It's got awesome colors. We've got Cave Slave with it, which Vaughn helped out with. It's a powerhouse campaign that definitely deserves all of the love and support because it seems like so much fun.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and thanks for having me. It's always great to hang out.
Hell yeah, of course. How could we not? So we're gonna go out on the Cerberus launch trailer. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Valkyrie. Go ring the bell. Also, go check out my new YouTube channel where I go into a lot of the behind the scenes of doing these cosplays and some of my artwork. It's by Gaslight over on YouTube. It's also linked in the description. And we will see you guys next time.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
You're a hard dog to find, Lee Button. Sam,
I know what happened, but why are you hiding in the shadows?
the cause of death was a bite over the throat. Canine incisors.
They know you didn't do it. They can tell those things.
It was a dog that did it.
What about Jackie?
Missing.
You'll need a new home. I can...
She's still out there, Sam. She's alive.
If Alder was killed with canine incisors, Jackie goes missing, and you disappear right after, well, you know how that looks. You know how it ends.
It doesn't have to. I'm going back tonight. Gonna sniff around a bit. Listen, I need your help with something.
I can't. Not tonight.
I need you to help me get this collar off.
Until next time, you handsome fool.
So long, Samantha.
She looked like she was really into him. She's like, hey, you want to come back to my doghouse? Yeah, sniff my butt.